Hey everybody, it's your friend Daniel Hutchins, and I'm back again for some late night videos. Yes, late night videos. I want to introduce you to my little friend, Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda. Okay, so me and Baby Yoda here are going to share you some news from our friend Screen Rant. Yeah, Screen Rant. We'll talk about some stuff from our friend Screen Rant. Okay. Um. Okay, everyone. You want to know what's going on with Sonic, huh? Okay, Sonic. Sonic 2 continues listening to some fan criticism by editing the late poster. Team behind Sonic the Hedgehog 2 are still listening to fan feedback. They've also added Colleen O'Shaughnessy and Tika Subter to a recent poster. 7 hours ago, everyone. Okay, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 kept up with a predecessor spirit of listening to fan concerns, making this an essential edit to a recent poster. In 2020, Paramount's Sonic the Hedgehog had distinctions of being one of the very few box office hits this year. It's heralded by many of the best video game adaptations of all time. It managed to cross $146 million, guys. In a short bit of time, theaters were open. In direct results, it wasn't a surprise when Paramount Swiftwood greenlights a sequel, which will premiere this spring. In April! Yeah! So we know Sonic the Hedgehog 2 will once again feature Ben Schwartz in the titular role. Again, we know this time around he'll be united with his friend Tails. Yeah, Tails. Tails is played by Colleen O'Shaughnessy, who's then teased in the first movie post-credit scene. Sonic and Tails have to team up to stop the bad guys, Dr. Robotnik and Knuckles. Now, getting the Master Emerald and destroying the world. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 also welcomes back James Marsden and Tika Subter to human pals Tom and Maddie. Okay, everyone. So, with Sonic the Hedgehog 2 just over a month in the release, we know marketing's in full swing, everyone. So that means exciting new posters, though, recently caught fans on. We know some of those names weren't listed among the co-stars, limited the billed actors of just men. However, just enough fans spoke against it. Paramount seemed to change the poster. They noted on social media how they revised it. You can check it out from this guy named Jolly J. Jolly J on Twitter said they actually edited the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 poster, adding some big names. Okay, you can see the poster tweet below, and you can go on Twitter. Now, again, this isn't the first time the Sonic franchise has adjusted after fan outcrying, though it's arguably the most smaller instances of previous. Before it was released, Sonic the Hedgehog is famously the center of immense fan backlash. Many complained about the Sonic CGI design rather than let it go. The creative team completely redesigned Sonic for its first movie, leading to renewed faith among fans. Clearly, the energy stuck around for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It has now taken bigger steps to respect the female members of the cast. Because of this, we know it now has the franchise become one that becomes the most among fans. It isn't clear how the sequel will perform, but fans are very, very excited to see Tails and Knuckles join the big screen universe. Paramount feels so good about this that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is already in development. A Knuckles show is going to happen also. Now, the final say to Sonic the Hedgehog 2 turns out, we might have major complaints depending on what the sequel might offer necessary correction. Okay, everybody, so let me know your thoughts about Sonic. And again, Sonic comes out on April the 8th. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping what they do is they release it in theaters and Paramount on the same time. That would be really cool. because if I can't get a chance to go to the theaters to see it, I hope they still do an opportunity where they have it on Paramount. That would be very cool. So again, let's keep going, everybody. Let's keep going. So you want to know about Alfred? You want to know more about Alfred? Yeah, I'll tell you about Alfred. You know the trusty butler from Batman, Alfred? He isn't a father figure to Bruce, says the director. And also the actor, again, who plays Alfred. Again, so Andy Serkis, who is, again, noted as Alfred Pennyworth, and his relationship with Bruce Wayne, the Batman, why he isn't really much of a father figure. Okay. Alright, so Andy Serkis has opened up his thoughts about Alfred Pennyworth, his role in the Batman, explaining he isn't really much of a father figure. Though this complaint says that finally to see the release of the most anticipated film of the year, Batman, directed by Matt Reeves. This movie's updated a darker tone to Batman, now played by Robert Pattinson. Again, the Batman is also slated to release in June of 2021, but delays have caused by the coronavirus led by pandemic led the Warner Brothers releasing it this year. Again, let me know your thoughts. The Batman also takes place in Bruce Wayne's second year as Batman. His current challenge is the Riddler, who we talked about is played by Paul Dano, who's on a murdering spree of the Gotham elite and is summoned the twisted schemes. Bruce Wayne must call upon his friends and the detectives to get to the bottom of Riddler's plan. But then he also comes in the wrong way with Penguin and Catwoman. We talked about Catwoman a lot on some of my videos. Check some of those out on the channel. They're probably farther down the list, but you can see them. Again, so some allies to the Bruce's side, Alfred, and also the possibility of Catwoman also probably working alongside him. Now, talking to this spy site, we know Digital Spy, ahead of the Batman release, the Alfred actor, Serkis, teased this aspect of Alfred he got to explore in this movie. Alfred, as a past, was a soldier, according to Serkis. He was cut in his ability to be a parent, he explained. He was an ex-soldier who worked for, he was in the war. He was in England, of course, because, Alfred's family's from England. So he worked in the Secret Service as an ex-soldier in England. He isn't really a father figure, so to be a toolbox to a father, we really don't know the tailored version of a relationship with him. I'm thankful to have a fresh view, though. Okay, so previous Batman movies, he says he's always been a caring figure to Bruce. But we don't know. Again, he's arguing that he isn't really a caring father figure. This is what we're talking about. But Batman has promised it a little different, though Alfred does still care deeply about Batman and Bruce Wayne, although they're two of the same man. Again, teased the vastly different relationship with Bruce and Batman. Again, we know it's a chilly relationship where they aren't really speaking when the movie began. But again, we know Alfred's past experiences are tainted with the bond. Now, Bruce's own refusal to care for himself likely does not help. Again, this is one of the reasons why we look back and we realize how Alfred has always been seen as second rated. Again, let me know your thoughts about Alfred. If you think Alfred is second rated, or if you think he is or isn't a father figure to Bruce. Now, let me know your thoughts about that, because it's really, really important that you guys share your thoughts, because this is a open live stream. Okay, everybody, let's keep going. And as you might notice, I have my show, I have Full House, in the background. I have it on mute, so you don't have to worry because it's on off. You don't have to hear the volume of that. It's just in the background. I'm playing it because, like I said, the dad from that show had passed away, so I'm revisiting it again. But okay. Yeah, we're gonna keep going on our friend screen rant. Now you notice I'm not holding Baby Yoda anymore. He's actually just laying down on the bed. Um, yeah. Okay, everyone. You want to know more about Andrew Garfield? I can tell you more about him. Andrew Garfield has discussed whether he'll play Spider-Man again. Okay, Andrew Garfield has claimed he doesn't have any plans to reprise as Spider-Man. This is 30 minutes ago. Andrew Garfield says he doesn't believe he'll play Spider-Man again. He's had his 2 movies and Mark Webb's movies. Again, the actor's stint of the wall crawler was unceremoniously cut after Sony pulled the plug on Amazing Spider-Man 3. 7 years later, we know they had a new person portray the role, Tom Holland. And again, then after that, he returned to play as one of the Spider-Mans for No Way Home. Again, for many months now, the actor was hounded with questions regarding persistent rumors on if he is going to return in his Marvel and Sony collaboration with, being Spider-Man again. Okay, so he's a little bit adamant about denying his Spider-Man involvement in No Way Home. However, he is really well known, and actor covered up was real intended. Now, meant to preserve the surprising reveal of him and his fellow former Spider-Man, Maguire, joining by Tom Holland's side in the Marvel prequel. Okay, so while Garfield's appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home has revived plenty of fan interest to his iteration of his character, he doesn't really appear as another Garfield Spidey return is likely. Again, we know this from 2022. The SAG Awards has just said the actor was asked by Variety, which is a news place, whether audiences will see his Peter again. Garfield quickly draws on the plans and he says, "No plans to play Spider-Man again." No plans. That's the truth, folks. No plans. He has no plans. He says, "Everyone's going to call me a liar for the rest of my life if I'm a boy who cried wolf now." It is pretty clear Garfield is aware of his fans' suspicion toward Spider-Man claims. Now, after all, the actor denied his involvement in No Way Home, proving he is one of the many Marvel stars capable of explicitly lying to preserve Marvel's secret. Again, being said that there's no concrete plans for an Amazing Spider-Man 3, they don't know whether he's going to return. Again, it's certainly possible this window of opportunity has now closed. He's also pointed out recently he's far too old to play Spider-Man, throwing down further doubt that he'll return. And many audiences might have seemed too early to discuss his potential next outing as Spider-Man, because Spider-Man No Way Home is still playing in the theaters to be proven as a box office hit. Sony is now gearing up for the new release we know in April. It's going to be Morbius. In that event, Garfield did not ever choose to don the mask again either. There again, no doubt that fans would not really be pleased that again his fellow Spideys, Maguire and Holland, proved the highlight of the No Way Home for the countless viewers. However, Spider-Man continues to capture the hearts around the world. The multiverse has plenty more to store to the coming months, given the fact that Spider-Man is a very, very big property character. Okay, so that's what's going on with Andrew Garfield, in case you want to know what's going on with him. Okay, we are going to keep going. Now, do you want to know what's weird? TomHiddleston is now trending on Twitter for a strange reason. Despite Loki Season 1 creating many fan questions, fans go to Twitter to want to ask more about Tom Hiddleston while he's becoming in his new event. This is actually an hour ago, everyone. Alright, Loki star Tom Hiddleston is trending on Twitter because of, his sweater. Again, we know the trained actor gained international fame by playing Loki. He is the adopted younger brother of Thor. Marvel Universe, Hiddleston first portrayed the God of Mischief in 2011. He portrayed his character 8 times in total, and he also voiced his own show. Again, he played in Loki, and he played Loki in What If. Now, we know Hiddleston Loki proved to be a fan favorite, which pushed Marvel Studios to give a character his own show. The main timeline, Loki had been killed, yet there's a variant that is also swinging around. Again, Loki Season 1 is really well received and fiercely discussed online. March the 2nd, the Royal Television Society will host a Loki behind-the-scene event where Saul's Hiddleston is expected to attend with his co-star Sophie DiMartino, we know as Sylvie, and the director Kate Herron. This event is promised to uncover some exclusive sweet details about making of Loki Season 1. Hopefully this will answer some of your many questions about his 6 episodes during his time-bending romp. Okay, yet despite Loki Season 1 ending with the huge cliffhanger, this isn't really the question that Hiddleston fans on Twitter seem to want. Instead, the star has been trending because of his fashion choices. He's been noted to wear the same blue sweater for years now. Fans are eager to find that the actor will done it again, and behind-the-scene event. The topic is inspired by a Twitter user to create new memes. Check out those tweets below. So this person from Twitter says, if Tom Hiddleston wears that blue sweater again on Wednesday, I'm going to let autocorrect finish that sentence for you. If Tom Hiddleston wears that same blue sweater on Wednesday, I'm going to do that too. LOL. If Tom Hiddleston wears the same blue sweater on Wednesday, I'm going to blank. It's actually just a quote. Next tweet says, Tom Hiddleston is trending because he is the cutest. Next tweet says, the fact Tom Hiddleston is trending because of his blue sweater, leave that man alone. Another tweet says, Tom Hiddleston is trending because everyone's talking about how he might show up in his blue sweater on March the 2nd. Another tweet says, best time to wear the blue sweater. It's all the time, with a collar or turtleneck, or that's the kind. So, as silly as it might sound, the Twitter users are tracking Hiddleston's sweater. This has a point. While Hiddleston has admitted before wearing his clothes till they fall apart, some sources indicate his blue sweater has been the rotation since as early as 2015. If he wears that at a behind-the-scenes event on Wednesday, the sweater career will almost be as long as he is. Isn't that crazy? Just a sweater. Just a sweater, just a sweater. So as much as the fun for Hiddleston Twitter fans are obsessed with his blue sweater, there is no doubt that just this eagles information about his role in Marvel Universe. Hiddleston has won several awards on his performances as Loki in various Marvel titles. He's also earned the People's Choice Award. And he's also received even more nominated. Now, still, he's playing the new variant of that character, though. Marvel has the opportunity to explore the new direction of it. Rumors say circles around Hiddleston and Loki appearing in Marvel's Cinematic Universe Phase 4. Fans can only hope and wait that he'll pop up again. Okay, everyone. That's what's going on with Loki. I would have just let you guys know that's what's going on with Loki. Because for some reason, people just can't shut up about his blue sweater. Okay. We're going to keep going. Yeah, we'll keep going. We're going to see if there's any more cool stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's added on here, yo. Okay. Thor Love and Thunder has just showed New Asgard is getting attacked by giant monsters. Yep, you remember New Asgard. New Asgard is just a little town that was basically founded by Thor and his friend Valkyrie right in Endgame. Recently discovered Thor Love and Thunder set has teased Thor and Jane Foster holding back a giant monster that is attacking New Asgard. Yeah, New Asgard. Yep, New Asgard. There's even him holding his Mjolnir and his Stormbreaker. There's a little sign that says, welcome to New Asgard. Please drive slowly. It's pretty cool. Recent discovered Thor Love and Thunder Lego set has now teased Thor and Jane Foster holding back for an unknown giant monster that's now attacking the New Asgard. The new sequel will see Chris Hemsworth return to the direction of Thor Ragnarok with Taika Waititi and again Tessa Thompson. Also, we know Christian Bale's also going to play as a villain, and we know Natalie Portman's coming back. Okay, so first seen from the Avengers Endgame, the city of Tonsberg, which is repopulated as survivors of Asgard, calling it New Asgard. After destruction, we know the Asgardians have to settle on the coast. The coastal settlement, renaming it New Asgard. Thor had to dealt with depression. Valkyrie took leadership, and the Avenger had a coronating her as the new king. Even though she's just a girl, she's a king. Now, after reveal of the goat boat, yes, I talked about the goat boat on one of my other videos, the Lego set, the goat boat, among other pieces of new merchandise, newly discovered unannounced Lego set has hinted the terrifying threat for Thor's new house, or home, house and home. Okay, because Thor lives in a house in his new home, New Asgard. Okay, yeah. So shared Thor Love and Thunder news on Twitter says new Lego set was discovered in Europe from a Lego fan page called the Brick Wolf. It's priced around 20 euros. 20 euros, which is around $22 in US money. Now, some reason, it's weird, but the Lego set Attack on New Asgard not only features minifigure of Thor with his new outfit holding Stormbreaker, but it also holds Jane Foster also wielding Mjolnir, as far as also with Gore the God Butcher, and sets main build gigantic green big build monster covered with spikes, a scorpion inspired claw with green tendril. You can check out the post below. So now there's this new Lego set that's been discovered by this guy named Brickwolf on Instagram. Again, Instagram, but also is on Twitter, everyone. The new Thor Love and Thunder Lego set, Attack of New Asgard. That's actually pretty cool. Because you actually see Thor and Jane, and they'll all come back and they see, oh no. So now their new home is getting attacked. Again, while this is revealed alongside other recent pieces of merchandise, Attack of New Asgard is one of the most highly anticipated fan first glimpses of the new film. This has revealed figures of Thor and Jane, giving fans a first clear shot of the two heroes' new outfits during prior promos and art. Thor has a new outfit which swaps out darker blacks and silvers. This is seen from Infinity War and Endgame for brighter blue and gold. All retain his long hair and his red cape. Jane's costume is a faithful adaptation of Mighty Thor, the armor he donned while her time serving and wielding Mjolnir, the famous hammer. Now again, Jason Aaron and Russell Donovan, Thor Volume 4 in 2014 was when her run was. But the Lego sets are offered to tease of Gore, the God Butcher, is a character and villain who's only been prior to glimpse through photographs of him in the costume during his filming. Now again, Lego is yet to spill out more terrible spoilers. Again, with ordeal awaiting for citizens of New Asgard. A new piece of merchandise is taken with a grain of salt, but in most cases, merchandise with Lego, mostly making the spoilers for all these new movies, also has a feature cut content with Frog. We know Frog. The Thor that's actually a frog. Yeah, you saw that in I think you saw that in Loki. I think there was a quick little tidbit that showed a cameo of Frog, which is Thor is a frog variant. Again, presence of the Lego Marvel Studio minifigure and the release of Tony Stark Sicarian Iron Man is also a Lego set depicting cut episodes from Marvel What If. Yeah. Again, this answers many of the uncertain times writing the monster will be in Love and Thunder. Now, again, footage from the first trailer can possibly confirm that it is a creature is present to spill the doom for New Asgard. Okay. So you want to know more about Thor Love and Thunder? I can tell you. Thor new Love and Thunder costume is very perfect after Endgame. Thor has done a new costume for Love and Thunder. This has showcased how different and possible better he can already be after Endgame. Okay, everybody. Thor's new costume in Love and Thunder offers a quick glimpse of the hero's current state and the events after Endgame. The audiences or very excited to see the first trailer of the tetralogy's latest installment. They say that Thor Chris Hemsworth has a new costume. His Love and Thunder costume has bared a prominent difference from his trademark appearance. More importantly, though, it reflected on his growth and his changey face, especially after the ending of Endgame. Thor has experienced quite a transformative journey in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He was introduced in 2011. Now that we know he's the God of Thunder, he has a lukewarm reception. The sequel to Dark World was released 2 years later. The views were very mixed. Now, pointing out the wasted potential of a character, situating him a forgettable villain. Again, we know many point to the third movie, 2017 Thor Ragnarok, managed to redeem the series, showcasing the Nordic god in playful comedic lights, opposed to broody nature from the two other films. However, the end of the Infinity Saga has Thor reverted to a state where he successfully lost everything he knew, including Mjolnir, but that was temporarily. His whole family and Asgard. Again, we know through tie-ins and merchandise, Marvel has officially confirmed his new costume design in Thor: Love and Thunder. This was before the film hits theaters. Now, instead of bright and yellow and red, traditionally showed in the comics, it's red, silver, and black of the movies. Now he has a new suit that's blue and gold. Blue and gold, everyone. Blue and gold. You know how Cub Scouts has like blue and gold banquet? Well, they now have a blue and gold suit. Okay, so he still has his red cape. In lieu of the Mjolnir, they have Stormbreaker. It's a powerful axe forged on Nivedil. It's a place where they forge weapons in space. Again, this also has a new costume and is strikingly more better than his previous look. A metamorphosis of Thor has gone through. After all, he has defeated Thanos and saved the universe with his friends on inside. Now he plans out to seek his purpose by ruling the people of Asgard. Though he wears a different costume that hints he has found and embraced a different side of him. Okay, so in Endgame, the Asgardian is seen in his lowest. He is Fat Thor. He's an honest look of grief and depression. God of Thunder was trapped in a cycle of misery, depression, and trauma. He was supposed to be the protector of his people, but failed to do so, which means he basically had to blame himself for failing to stop Thanos. He reevaluated himself after hearing his advice from his mom, and then Thor realized there was more to life beyond his birthright. He's happily delegated the responsibility of leading the remaining Asgardians to Valkyrie, who he actually met in Ragnarok. Again, we know although clueless about the future, he's had a high hope for his next adventure by the end of Endgame. It is different though that he has a blue costume. No. The journey might have been a success. He's already shed his Asgardian armor, the weight of expectation of his past self. Now, furthermore, he also joins the Guardians of the Galaxy, and it breaks away from his regalness. Again, we know he might discover his true self, but beneath him, what he's supposed to be, he's leaning toward more fun and adventure. Those traits are exemplified by his vibrant color and his new costume. Aside from redeeming both as a hero and a person, he's switching his costume and making it visually distinct from that of the mighty Thor, played by his girlfriend, Natalie Portman, Jane Foster. Despite Thor's new blue costume being a smaller, less significant detail of Great Marvel Universe from post-Endgame, it is visual significantly bigger, more impactful changes coming from Love and Thunder. Okay, buddy. So that's what the connection is between the new Thor Love and Thunder costume and how it's strikingly different. With it being a blue costume. Okay, so that's what's going on with Thor. I figured you guys would probably want to know more about Thor, and especially with these next couple of months, we can talk about Thor for a lot of different things, because his movie's not supposed to premiere to the theaters until July. sometime. Okay, so because like we said, we have to go through the multiverse of madness, and then after the multiverse of madness, then it's Love and Thunder. Okay, so let's see what else is going on with the universe. Okay, we're gonna see what else is going with the universe. So you want to know what's going on with Tamara Morrison, the actor who played in Book of Boba Fett? Tamara Morrison, the actor we know who played Boba Fett in the Book of Boba Fett, has a fat joke with a workout video. He has a workout video where he lifted some weights. 4 hours ago, everyone. So the Book of Boba Fett has followed his character after the events of Return of the Jedi, some 30 years later, and we also know the Mandalorian Season 2, where Fett and Fennec Shan also take over Tatooine, which was once run by the late Jabba the Hutt, who was actually died because, Princess Leia, she strangled Jabba the Hutt with a chain. You know that. So again, contending with the other criminal organization of the area, notable characters include the Clone War Cad Bane and Pedro Pascal reprising as Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. His series only ran for a few episodes and got mixed reviews with fans and critics. Again, the video has showed Morrison with his trainer as he's done some bicep curls with some weights on a bar. He's done some weightlifting lately, indicating that he's inspired by calling him Boba Fett instead of Boba Fett. Now, in responses to his appearance, he is showing off with his trainer in support. Comments of his video include support from him telling him not to listen to inconsiderate people from the internet. Check out this new video below. You can actually see the video Ted Morrison is seen on Instagram. I'm going to watch the video later, or sometime later probably. But Morrison is busy trying to wrap up the Book of Boba Fett with his appearances set also for other big titles, suggesting he has to keep his appearance for all his work he's getting. Whether he is going to reprise his role as Boba Fett for The Mandalorian Season 3, or he will contribute to the new Ahsoka series, we have to overlap the nature of the Star Wars TV series established from the Book of Boba Fett, and it wouldn't be too much of a surprise if he appeared. Unfortunately, guys, there is a lot of pressure from the studios and the internet trolling on movie stars to look a certain way. With Western beauty standards and complimentary body types, Morrison responded to good humor. It's too common for an actor to receive undue criticism from people who don't have real platforms to criticize of their appearances, toxic symbols of many fandoms. Now, take note that future holds for Morrison or the Book of Boba Fett is important to keep in mind, though. Remember, the body is positively the essential for mental health, something can everyone consider. Okay, everyone. So, that's what's going on with Tamara Morrison, we know as Book of Boba Fett. Okay, I'm just checking my freaking messages, making sure I'm keeping up to speed with my friend Christian Hallman. He's doing pretty good, but I just had to switch screen real quick. Now, the time check right now is 33 minutes, almost going to 34 minutes. Now, this is going to be slightly shorter than the combo video that I did an hour ago. Or should I say 2 hours ago. Okay, so we're going to keep going from our friend Screen Rant. Because on Screen Rant, there's a lot of probably some new stuff I wanted to cover for y'all. So, we're looking. Yes, we are still looking. Okay, everyone. Okay. You want to know more about Batman? Okay. So the Batman, Robert Pattinson, he's recalled that he has an audition in George Clooney's Batsuit. Okay, everybody. So there's a Robert Pattinson audition also with the George Clooney Batsuit. George Clooney is believed as many people to be the worst actor as Batman. But again, that's an argument that you can make of your own. Robert Pattinson has broke down his audition process of the Batman he was excited to wear was the George Clooney suit we saw from the movie Batman and Robin from 1997. Okay, Robert Pattinson has recalled his audition process as the Batman where he wore the George Clooney Batman suit. The Batman is the late reboot of the Batman film franchise that came directly after the Nolan trilogy. This is a Batman that is far more cry than the 1997 film Batman and Robin, which is really panned and criticized upon a campy take of the Cape Crusader with poor ice puns and stiff performances by Mr. Freeze and his goons. Now, again, we know George Clooney, he tried his best, but, he's not exactly the best Batman. Again, while Pattinson's suit is a very unique Batsuit, this isn't the actor's first time done in a costume. He has revealed he has worn the George Clooney Batsuit from Batman Robin during the auditions process. Comparing those two suits, he had more mobility in his suit compared to the Clooney suit. Now, the Clooney suit is a stiff rubber mold. Pattinson's suit is more tactical, and his parts can break more apart. Okay, while promoting the Batman, Robert Pattinson shared some details of his audition. He had the audition to become Batman. Yes, he sure did. How he felt about wearing the George Clooney suit. Okay, now according to comicbook.com, Pattinson has recalled an incredible experience auditioning with the Clooney Batsuit. Pattinson has also said he sweated through it and prepared him for the film process. He's even taken himself with selfies of himself in the Batsuit. And that was experience with those bat nipples. You know how you have those bat nipples? You know how you have the nipples on the bat suits? Well, that's what they were back then. It was incredible. I mean, I remember when I was doing a screen test, it was really fun. We were really, really long. I mean, screen test was about 8 hours, and the entire time was pouring sweat. Matt Reeves was saying, "What can we do about the sweat?" I'm like, "There's nothing to be done. The only way past it is not drinking any liquid. Again, otherwise you'd pee in the suit. That would be bad." Respectfully saying, remembering sneaking a little selfie in that where everyone in the room think of doesn't working out. I've always had this, and it'll always be a picture of me and my nipples. Okay, so Batman audition process was very funny. Now interesting for many. With many actors wearing previous film suits and what they look like as the Cape Crusader, during the audition process for Batman Begins, Christian Bale had to wear the Val Kilmer suit from Batman Forever. Did you know that? Christian Bale had to wear the Val Kilmer suit. So now, making sense that now Pattinson had to wear the Clooney suit. Now, isn't that interesting? Now, noted Pattinson's excitement for the Batman Robin suit has, despite the film, poor reaction. Back to the actor comment saying he believed there are no bad Batman movies. Now, clearly, he is an admiration for all of Batman. His excitement shows he's a talented actor, but a big fan of being Batman. While Pattinson doesn't have a social media, he does hope to have a Batsuit selfie. He then has a similar one to Spider-Man pointing at him with a Spider-Man No Way Home. Okay, Batman Batsuit's already the best live-action version. Okay, now that's just something that's something all opinion. But again, yeah, I'm gonna definitely try to find that photo of Pattinson wearing the Clooney suit and Bale wearing the Kilmer suit. If I find those, I'm gonna save them in my folder and then I'm gonna post them on social media sometime later. Okay, I gotta keep that as a mental note to myself. I'll be able to remember because with all comic books, I remember. Now, again, noted though, it is important to realize that when people audition as Batman, they have to wear other people's Batsuits, the predecessors. It's really, really interesting though, given that you probably didn't even realize that, guys. You probably did not realize that, but it's all behind the scene work. It's all behind the scenes, and people don't really know it unless you have those connections. Now, again, like I said, I thought it's really awesome. Now we go to Screen Rant again. And we go the Screen Rant exclusives, because that's usually where the better stuff is. We're going to try to find some stuff, everyone. Alright. Okay, you want to know what's going on with Star Wars 10. Okay, Star Wars Episode 10. Now, I talked about it on one of my other recent videos, Star Wars 10, with how Rey is supposed to train the new generation of Jedi. But now, on the flip side of Jedi, we're talking about the dark side. Will the dark side survive the Sith Order destruction? Okay, so obviously we saw in Episode 9, we saw the Sith Order was destroyed. But hypothetically, in Episode 10, it could be different. Okay, 6 hours ago, everyone. The Sith Order was destroyed from the Skywalker saga. Darkseid will survive, though, in hypothetical versions of Star Wars Episode 10. We don't know when Star Wars Episode 10 is, it's just rumored. Now, again, could be the Sith or not Sith Order. We don't know. Sith Lords are primary antagonists from the Star Wars franchise. While they have survived the Palpatine final death from Legends, definitively destroyed from the end of canon with Rise of Skywalker, Rey had a short victory over the Sith Order, should be preserved as a hypothetical fourth trilogy, although the dark side cannot ever be destroyed. No, it can't. Now, different swords of the Sith can also be set up for the Sith or the Knights of Ren. Now, the Knights of Ren were supposed to be rumored for the 8th episode, but it never happened. Okay. Rise of Skywalker has revealed the Palpatine returned from the dead after Return of the Jedi, where he literally fell down a shaft. Now, we know out of brains behind the First Order that destroyed the New Republic of the sequel trilogy, we know the galaxy's last Sith Lord was Palpatine. He fought against the Knights of Ren leader we know Ben Solo, and his granddaughter Rey, who also became a Jedi. Now we know Rey proved victorious over her grandfather and Palpatine's final death, but the Sith Order died as well. Now the Sith Order and Knights of Ren were gone, however. The other dark side organization could take their place. Again, there's hope, guys. There's hope. Now again, if there is a new Star Wars trilogy, as rumors have said, Rey in her inevitable new generation of Jedi, or Rey's Jedi Order, as I had mentioned in that other video, how likely face off against a new side of Darkseid. Again, there's a new form of the Sith that can replace the defunct Sith. Now, in Legends, the Sith isn't just the name of the Darkseid user. There is a species that actually has a different name. Now, from the planet Korriban, which is called Moraband in canon, the Sith are a sapient species in a penchant by using the dark side of the Force. They help inspire the philosophies from the Sith Order. The exiled Jedi who fell to the dark side and members of the Sith initially formed the regular Sith Order. Again, the Sith Order now we know, the original one we know, is destroyed and defunct. So they have the new one. Now again, the term Dark Lord from Sith referring to the one who rules all other Sith species, or also wills to rule the dark side of the Force. The Sith species seemingly disappeared from galaxies enlarged by the events of the prequels. Again, that's not necessarily extinct though. Reviving them in Star Wars Episode 10 could allow Star Wars to have Sith resurrected a different way of the enemy, of course. Now, again, the whole species can't be an enemy in Star Wars 10. Again, we have a cult of powerful, malicious members of the Sith species that could, in place, perhaps take over the old Sith Order and be the new Sith Order. Again, the new films have an excellent way to continue the iconic, recognizable Sith name with aesthetic according to the signature red blade lightsaber. The Sith can also return by friending the galaxy without tainting the Rey defeat of the Palpatine from the Rise of the Skywalker. The death of Palpatine and the end of the Sith Order on Exegol are much needed to remain the end of the era of Star Wars canon timeline. But in ancient forms of Sith, they can take their place. Again, ancient Sith, ancient Sith. Now, dark side cults can always plague the galaxy, and having this dangerous group of the Sith outside the classic Sith Order is something we can explore. The Star Wars franchise could always continue to be more recognizable villains and remain respectful to the lore. The dark side of the Force can still survive from a new form of Sith species that or the more ancient Sith species. Star Wars 10 becoming a new challenge for Rey in her new Jedi Order. Okay, so again, everybody, let me know your thoughts about, how Star Wars Legends can actually explore other sides of the dark side and contrast, with, facing off with Rey and her new Jedi Order, who I talked about in my other video. Now, if you haven't seen that other video, please check it out. There is a title on it saying Star Wars 10, Rey being better suited for Jedi Order than Luke. Check that out on my channel. I have it on there. So this is another tie-in with it, only just the dark side thing instead of the light side thing. So I talked about the light side thing on a different video. Now I talked about the dark side. Okay, everybody, we're gonna keep on trucking. We're gonna keep on trucking. We're gonna talk about one more thing, and then we're gonna wrap this part of the late night videos up. Again, keep in mind, guys, the late night videos goes from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. every other day on the channel. Now, again, we want to keep in mind, guys, that there is a lot of shit in the universe. Okay, so what is the possibility of a young Princess Leia? Okay, everyone, you want to know about a young Princess Leia who could appear in a form in Obi-Wan Kenobi? Yes, there is news or rumor saying there is a young Princess Leia who can she look like in Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Okay, new fan posters of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show of what this girl is going to look like as the young Princess Leia from the new series on Disney Plus coming out on May the 25th. Now we know May 25th is Star Wars Day, so that's where we basically have this idea where they're going to set up all the characters of Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series, seeing Ewan McGregor and his friend. Again, we see him return, and again, he's probably reprised in his role after 17 years, where we basically saw him have credit from, the Phantom Menace, the Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. Again, we know that's the last trilogy we seen him in. Alongside, we know Hayden Christensen is returning. We talked about him. You saw him in one of my other videos, or you heard of him in my other video. Now, there is a girl who's actually rumored to play a young Princess Leia. Yeah, there's going to be this girl who's now going to play a young Princess Leia, who is an integral part of the plot. Now, we know Obi-Wan Kenobi is still in wraps, and secret wraps in the vaults of Disney and Star Wars and Lucasfilm. But the series is said to be set 10 years after Episode 3, where it takes after the events of Order 66 and Revenge of the Sith, where basically we pick up where Obi-Wan Kenobi had to go on exile on Tatooine. Again, we know he then goes into Episode 4, which we saw in 1977, where basically he was Ben Kenobi. Okay, you see what I'm saying? However, details surround the series saying trouble with the young Leia could spur Obi-Wan back into action. Alright, everyone. Fan poster created and shared by Instagram has also said that there's a person that could potentially look like a 10-year-old Leia from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. A poster has seen her face superimposed to an image with cameras of her wearing a classic white dress with hair buns we all are familiar with. Now, lots of girls or Star Wars fangirls have always tried to cosplay as the famous Princess Leia with this famous white dress and hair buns. Now, raw images of final edits of the poster can be seen below. You can see it on this poster we see, the fan poster on Instagram. I'm going to be saving that photo later. Like I said, I'm going to save a lot of stuff on my articles I read later on in some near future. Now, I just go into my internet history, browser search history, and I just saved all those photos I said I was going to save. Again, outfits and hairstyle featured in posters are instantly recognizable to all the Star Wars fans everywhere. because it's the same look that Carrie Fisher had when she was the Princess Leia, introduced originally in 1977. Yes, she was also brought back in 2016 Rogue One at the very very end, the finale, where we saw she was she was basically used in CGI in the version in the finale of Rogue One. However, this new girl, her new character take of the famous Princess Leia, is still unknown. We don't know. However, it is a great way to nod and to give audiences an idea of what she could look like, and has been really cast. Oh, and everyone, she's still up and coming actress, but she's made a splash in a few short years. In 2018, she's also been alongside some Netflix series, and she's also been the daughter in Shock Boy and Lava Girl. Now, again, we know Obi-Wan Kenobi, we know this girl named Blair, resume will continue to impress, but as plain as a young Princess Leia, proved to be the catalyst for a show plot. Audiences could also see a young Princess Leia down the road, though this is what we're looking for. Again, Star Wars, Disney, and Lucasfilms keeping this in tight wraps. But Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to come on Disney Plus on May the 25th, which is the Star Wars Day. Okay, so you want to know more about Obi-Wan Kenobi? Okay, how Obi-Wan Kenobi series can set up the Mandalorian Season 3. Okay, you want to know how Obi-Wan Kenobi's past on Mandalore can create an opportunity to reveal even more about Mandalorian history, how it's become essential to Din Djarin's history and his story for Mandalorian Season 3. Okay, guys, this is 3 days ago, everyone. It's really hot news. Now, Disney Plus' upcoming Obi-Wan Kenobi can lay a foundation for Mandalorian Season 3, which is setting up after the Season 2.5, we know, Book of Boba Fett. We know recently played a role in the final 3 episodes furthering the Din Djarin story. And Grogu's story, Baby Yoda. Now, again, Obi-Wan Kenobi takes place years earlier, but the series might also provide world building and history and lore integral to plots driving toward the Mandalorians. Now, Din Djarin's current narrative surrounded not only his relationship with Grogu, Baby Yoda, but also places in Mandalorian history. The Darksaber, current owner of the Darksaber. If won in combat, it marks the wielder of Mandalore, who is the ruler of all Mandalorians. This has set up the Mando in direct conflict with Bo-Katan Kryze, who's also ruled Mandalore with a Darksaber. She's lost both the blade and her planet, but she wants her weapon and throne back. Now, in Book of Boba Fett, we know the Armorer has told Mando that by claiming the throne and the Darksaber that was given to Herdo, and not won from combat, Bo-Katan has cursed the planet under her where Mandalore was destroyed by the Empire. Mando's sector, the Children of the Watch, has also survived because the sequestered of the moon of Mandalore called Concordia. This is where the armor also reveals where Mandalore Tere Vizsla, creator of the Darksaber, was both Mandalorian and a Jedi. Okay, so unfortunately there are still very many crucial plot holes in the armor story. Now again, Ewan McGregor is hinted to have presence of the flashbacks in the Obi-Wan series, believe it or not, because Obi-Wan has spent so much time with Mandalorians during the Clone Wars. His series provides a perfect backdoor opportunity to reveal more about Mandalorian history. There's even become foundation for Din Djarin's journey. In results, we know Obi-Wan Kenobi can reveal some of those details that can prove very crucial to Mandalorian Season 3. Okay, Obi-Wan spends both a lot of time during the Clone Wars on the planet Mandalore. He's even fallen in love with the ruler we know, Duchess Satine Kryze. She's also Bo-Katan's sister, as you saw in the Clone Wars. He witnesses and participates in many pivotal events in Mandalorian history. This also affects the plot of Mandalorian. Now, given that, one of these is a conflict between Satine and the Death Watch, which also is noted in Star Wars history, shown in the Clone Wars, everyone, the Clone Wars. Satine then seeks to retire warlike Mandalorian culture, although she created a pacifist society on Mandalore. The Death Watch is believed to be an old warrior ways that want to overthrow Satine. She also has exiled on them on Concordia, where they say, legend says the armorer said the children of the Watch were during the Purge. This is hinted that they might be descended by the Death Watch. Right now, there is no concrete backstory of the Children of the Watch, and Mando himself does not know its history. However, since Obi-Wan has passed tied the Mandalore, flashback can place evidence and events tied to the Clone Wars could set up how the sect began and why they stayed on Concordia. Since Obi-Wan is a Jedi and he's fought with the Mandalorians, against Mandalorians, and been kind of like close buddies with the Mandalorians, we know the show can also explore the relationship between Mandalorian and Jedi, another unresolved source of tension from the Mandalorian. The Armorer has additional condemned not only Bo-Katan, but her whole family, the Mighty House. Now, lost sight of the way. Now, as they used to say, this is the way. But again, Mandalorian does not disclose how House Christ broke the Mandalorian creed. Though so far as the legend says, Bo-Katan has lots of sins, whereas Satine has lost her sight and lost the way. Just as the battle turning her back on all Mandalorian tradition. Obi-Wan has visited Satine and fights with her against the Death Watch in the series we know, the Clone Wars. The stark contrast between Satine regime and the Mandalorian depicting the Mandalorian culture. This would further raise more stakes and conflicts over what it means to be Mandalorian. The issue has haunted the series and beginning to continue to grow more fraught. Obi-Wan Kenobi can also therefore potentially not only set up the plot for Mandalorian Season 3, but also the key themes of emotional conflict with them as well. Okay, everybody, that's just another follow-up with Obi-Wan that I want to tell about that can set up the Mandalorian Season 3. Now, let me know your thoughts about that if you believe those theories or you believe that evidence or those clues I've mentioned that had referenced Obi-Wan Kenobi with the Mandalorians on the planet Mandalore. From the Clone Wars perspective, is where the sources are. But again, guys, let me know your thoughts about that. It's really, really important stuff because if you haven't watched the Clone Wars, you're not going to know all that stuff. But if you have watched the Clone Wars, then you're set. You already know the histories and conflicts that the Jedi's and the Mandalorians has had together. And Obi-Wan Kenobi can be the tie that can tie them together. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on with the ideas of the Star Wars television series future and how it can set up greater, more expansive ideas. Okay, everybody, this is just another wrap, and I just want to let you guys know this is just another great late night video I want to share to y'all. Again, let me know thoughts about the evidence I've shared and the news I've shared. And again, you have a wonderful, wonderful night, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.